Hi, this is a weekly reading for the collective energy for the week of February 18th to February 22nd. In the wee hours of Tuesday or February 19th, we'll experience a super full moon in Virgo. This is going to be a pretty intense full moon phase. It's a super moon because of the Earth's proximity to the moon. It's going to appear really bright and large in the sky. I mean, you may not be able to see it necessarily because of cloud cover, but the energy with this moon is going to be really intense. There's a lot of different planetary aspects that are conjuring up a lot of deep spiritual life path type of thoughts and lessons around this full moon and into this week. The sign of Virgo, I'm a Virgo rising. So kind of Virgo energy is what I project to the world. That's what your rising sign is. It's kind of how people see you. Virgo energy is very pragmatic. They're critical thinkers, great at solving problems. Virgo energy can also be kind of hypercritical, kind of tends to overthink, kind of tends to overwork problems or maybe blow problems up bigger than they really are, depending if you're working in the shadow or light part of that energy. But positive side, it's an earth sign, it's earth-based energy. This week, what's really going to come into focus because of the full moon period is kind of practical matters surrounding our dreams and goals. If you're deciding to take a relationship to the next step, that could be moving in together or buying a ring or deciding to become exclusive or defining your relationship at a higher level. There's going to be an aspect to Pluto and Neptune, which are about spirituality, kind of death and rebirth. That's Pluto's big theme. There's going to be this feeling of shedding an old skin in a sense and regrowing a new one, which is Scorpio's ruler Pluto. That's very much in the Scorpio archetype, death and rebirth, rising from the ashes as the phoenix. With the earth-based energy, it's going to feel very solid and grounded. It's going to also kind of make you think about your resources, expanding those resources, bettering your environment, bettering your home, organizing, decluttering. It's also going to be an organization of your thoughts, of your emotional state, of what needs to stay, what needs to go. There's going to be this kind of culmination of, if you've been trying to get a business off the ground, a clear, pragmatic way to get to where you need to be and how you need to go about achieving those goals. What practical steps need to be taken? Do I need to pay off a loan? You know, it's tax season. A lot of people are having shorter tax returns than what they're accustomed to, but maybe you're deciding that, well, I don't have what I was expecting. Maybe I need to put that towards a debt. So oh man, they keep giving me way too many cards. Anyway. But, okay, universe, I'll take it. This is what you want me to say. I will take it. There's going to be this kind of coming full circle of really kind of appreciating where you are and where you've been and where you'd like to go. Maybe how you're approaching a project has not really been working for you. Maybe you've been working too hard. Virgos are hard workers. They're definitely go-getter type people. There's also going to be a Mars aspect to this energy that's going to propel you to take direct action. Also, with the aspect to Neptune and the sun is moving into Pisces, there's going to be this kind of dreamy, almost nostalgic kind of fondness and love in the air. This also can create a little bit of a rose-colored glasses where we don't necessarily see things as they are, or we go to a place of anxiety and fear and assume something is what it isn't. It also could be that we overextend, overpromise, and we're overconfident in the thing, in what we see and what we think and what we're committing to people. And it's not that you don't mean those things. It's just with this kind of dreamy, whimsical type of energy, it's easy to kind of think outside of that practical, like, okay, what is realistic here? So it's going to be really important to incorporate that Piscean Neptune energy with the Virgo energy to stay practical, to stay grounded. I already got a bunch of cards. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. But it's going to be really important to integrate that energy. Okay, this is a spiritual lesson that I've learned. This is where I want to take my business. This is where I want to take my relationship. What is a practical, physical, tangible thing that I can do to manifest that goal? For me personally, I got my tax return and I paid off a whole bunch of debts. And now I'm in a position to be able to go towards, something that I really want. It's something that's going to take a lot of work and something that I'm going to have to put in a lot of consistent effort towards, but I see how to get there. It's really clear now, where I feel like I've been a little bit stuck, and it's been like I've had a lot of false starts, and I'm feeling like a lot of people are feeling that too. Like, well, I was going this direction, but now this feels kind of like it's not the best use of my energy. Maybe I need to redirect. I need to refocus. Mercury retrograde, communication. Mercury retrograde season is about to start, and I'm gonna just stop playing with these. It's about to start in early March, and we're in the shadow phase right now. So kind of the general theme for Mercury retrograde. Most people are pretty familiar with the Mercury retrograde phenomena, or astrological event. It usually impacts communication, relationships, telecommunications, technology. Things tend to go on the fritz and not want to work the way they're supposed to. When it comes into the shadow side, those things start to kind of bubble up. What's going to come for full circle, or where you're being held up, it's going to culminate and come to full circle by the end of the Mercury retrograde period. This is going to be a week of kind of heavy contemplations. There's going to be some kind of big decisions, maybe some powerful conversations, and there also could be some misunderstandings. This would be a really good week to listen to your emotions. Yes, listen to your emotions. It's kind of how our body communicates with us, or how intuition communicates with us. Pay attention to the emotions that rise up in you in conversations and situations you have. What is that speaking to? What pain is that speaking to? What old story is that speaking to? And where is there some needed tangible change? Where is there going to be some needed resolve? And that's what's going to be a major theme over this full moon and over this week. I'm feeling kind of this general sense of love and appreciation, and really understanding where I've been and where I'm going, and how everything has had to happen over the past year or two that's led me here. And it's allowed me to kind of enter this phase of shedding an old skin and death and rebirth, which is the whole theme of Pluto. Combined Pluto and Scorpio there. Pluto and Scorpio archetypes. But anyway, let me get into your reading. Okay, so you've got an Ace of Pentacles here. Ace of Pentacles this is earth energy. This is kind of the beginning of something that's stable and it's got real staying power. And it's something that you are going to be very invested in, or this could be an earth sign coming to you. This could be a new purchase. This is something tangible. This is something that is the beginning of a solid foundation. You've got the Two of Wands, which is about planning. You know, I said that Virgo critical kind of problem solver. That's you know, Wands is fire energy, but that kind of planning and thought and logical next step, that's what that Two of Wands is about. And then King of Swords. King of Swords is less about emotion. He's about intellect. He's about critical thinking. He's like, okay, what is practical and makes sense here? And he's really great at those head over heart decisions. What's best for me? And what isn't? And he's not afraid to use that sword to achieve what he needs and to do what's best for him. There is another Ace of Wands. This is about a new creative spark. There is going to be an aspect that I didn't mention, but it brings to mind. There's going to be an aspect to this moon and Mars. Mars rules direct action, communication, and aggression. There's definitely going to be some action behind these decisions and themes that bubble up over this week and over this full moon period. You're likely going to maybe realize something about a creative endeavor you're doing, or you have an idea or something that you're passionate about that is that kind of creative. I mean, I'm feeling the word sexual energy, or not necessarily sexual energy as in like, you know, the act of sex, but this like creative, very passionate, fiery energy. This new spark, this new like pep in your step. To get started on something that is part of your foundation. That's stable, to get this new phase, this rebirth off the ground. I mean, you have the ultimate beginning card. This is, you know, the Fool, Major Arcana. This is all about new beginning. This is all about going out and starting something and going out on a limb and not being worried about failure, not being worried about what could go wrong. You're ready to start on that journey, and you've got the Sun, and it's something that's feeling positive and joyful. I'm feeling this like major sense of understanding, this culmination and coming to full circle of completing some major spiritual lessons, and it's giving you this kind of vigor to start anew with these new lessons that you've learned, or this new perspective that you've obtained. The only kind of somewhat negative card that came out here is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about kind of trickiness, sneaky behavior. I'm thinking there's going to be a temptation. Okay, I see this new direction that I need to go, or this new path that I need to go down, and there's going to be a temptation to be maybe a little overly aggressive with that Mars energy, or maybe kind of cut out some steps and try to go about it in a somewhat underhanded way. I would say be mindful of that. Or this is something that could be done to you. With the Neptune Piscean energy, it is easy to be gullible. It's kind of easy to be taken, or get taken up with an illusion. Yes, these new beginning energies and this new start, new perspective energy is amazingly powerful and wonderful, but I definitely challenge you to integrate with that Virgo practical energy as well and stay grounded in what you're wanting and what people are saying to you. This would be a time where maybe listen less to what people say and pay attention to what they're doing. What direct action are they taking? Because really and truly, at the end of the day, what somebody says is what they intend. It doesn't mean that's what they necessarily are committed to or willing to do, or it's what they want you to think that they intend. Words are only as powerful as the actions behind them. I mean, that's something that I have to remind myself of all the time. I can be somewhat taken by promises and nice things that people say. And there's a point where it's like, okay, you have to take it with a grain of salt and pay attention more to what someone's actually doing. What does their behavior say? This is honestly the best advice I've ever gotten in my entire life. People will tell you exactly what you need to know. You just have to pay attention. And it's in their actions. They'll show you exactly what you need to know about them. And it won't be necessarily anything that comes out of their mouth. And sometimes it is things that come out of their mouth and they just don't even realize what they're saying. Anyway, I'm going to pull a Moonology card for an advice for the week. And then we'll see what else comes up. Okay, they're kind of sticky. Not wanting to give me anything. I'm gonna use the first one. Okay. Okay. Believe in the impossible. Can you really see that? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna read from the book. It says Blue Moon, believe in the impossible. Sorry, I got this deck not that long ago and I am still getting to know it. So Blue Moon, believe in the impossible. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance and that something one-off will be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you are asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card. which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. I'm lucky. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. There are usually 3 moons between each equinox and solstice, and vice versa. Sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When this happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least this was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use the blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that is 2 full moons. We actually experienced a blue moon this past summer, and I had a lot of really interesting, crazy epiphanies and major just leveling up spiritual downloads over the summer around that blue moon and the end of July. I'm really feeling that this is what this is about. There's a lesson or something coming this way this week, or coming about through the full moon phase that is going to be a major aha moment. It also could literally mean that an opportunity is going to come towards you, or you're going to be in a position that is something that may not come around anytime soon. And this might be a time to say yes to the unexpected. I mean, you have a lot of new beginning cards here. I feel like the universe is really challenging us to harness this fool's energy and just take that step forward. You know, it's been interesting for me over the weekend, especially the last few days. Several close friendships and relationships have really been coming into focus, and kind of seeing where maybe those connections are not as healthy, or where I need to draw boundaries, or where I need to shift my perspective. And I've felt a major perspective shift over this past week, especially coming into this week. This week is like kind of stepping into that new perspective, acting in it, that earth energy, those tangible things, what we can see, taste, touch, and feel, what is physically visible in walking in that new perspective. But I think that's all I've got for you. I'm really excited about this week. I think this is going to be a wonderful cleansing moon. The moon rules our emotions, so emotions in general can be heightened around this period. A lot of women ovulate with the full moon, so that also can be part of it. Full moons can also, especially when we have a super moon, it can be a higher chance of conception. So if that's something that you're working towards and that's your new beginning, this would be a good time to try to achieve that. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know how I'm doing. Have a good day.